Now, there are quite literally hundreds of videos out there right now telling you how to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, but they've all got one thing in common. They make it sound easy, and unless you get lucky with the perfect niche on your first video, for the majority of people, that's just not going to be the case, especially if this is your first attempt. And in this video, I'm going to give you realistic advice to help you get that first 1,000 subscribers. I wanted to start by looking at the data. So it's common knowledge amongst the YouTube community that it takes between 50 to 150 videos to hit your first 1,000 subscribers. Pick the middle number, 100. So on average, it takes 100 videos for the average YouTuber to hit 1,000 subscribers. How long does that take? Well, the average duration of time from 0 to 1,000 subscribers for a YouTuber is 15.5 months. So that's 100 videos and 15.5 months. That's how long, on average, it will take. And if you look at the YouTube demographic of all channels, 91.1% have less than 1,000 subscribers. So that means if you have 1,000 subscribers or more, you're in the top 8.9% of total YouTube channels on the planet. And I'd say that makes you pretty exceptional. So in order to get to that level, you need to do exceptional things. Engaging with your audience. I think the best way in order to convince someone to press the subscribe button on your channel is to directly engage with them personally. So whether that be on a live stream, responding to their comments, answering their questions, getting to know them a little bit, that really helps. Also, just in general, replying to as many comments as you can on your YouTube channel, I find to be really helpful. A lot of people see it as a complete waste of time, but for me, with the community that I've built on my YouTube channel, I actually find replying to each of my comments gains me a following, gains me people's trust, and they just appreciate that some content creator can take time out of their day to directly respond to their comments. I find that's really helpful for building an audience. And ultimately, in order to gain a subscription from someone these days, you don't just have to produce good videos, because anyone can just watch YouTube videos just from their recommended feed. The way YouTube works now, the subscription feed is barely ever used. And as a result of that, there's not much motivation for someone to click that subscribe button, because they know if I just keep watching this guy's videos, they're going to keep getting recommended to me. And I ultimately don't need to hit subscribe. So you need to do something that's just a little bit more than making good videos to convince someone to press that subscribe button. And one of those things is to engage with them directly as much as possible. Now, if you're enjoying the video so far, I'd really appreciate it if you could leave me a like rating and subscribe to the Tom H Coaching channel down below. The whole idea of this channel is I want to give back. I want to share what I've learned from my journey of building a YouTube channel with you. And if you want to get private one-to-one coaching with me, you can inquire at the email in the description down below, tomhcoaching@gmail.com. Collaborations. So this involves making content with other people in your space, whether that be people that are bigger than you, could even be people that are smaller than you. The idea is that each of you appear on each other's channels, introduce yourself to each other's audience, which is essentially a whole lot of new potential subscribers that could click subscribe on your channel. And then you take part in a video together. And the added benefit to doing that is you build a connection with someone, not just that brings an audience your way, but someone that's in your niche and someone that has unique knowledge that ultimately not many other people on the planet are going to have about your specific niche on YouTube. And you can bounce ideas off each other. You can share motivation, tips and tricks around making videos. For me, when building my channel, this has been absolutely essential really to not only just helping me with my videos, but also just maintaining motivation. I find that YouTube in some ways can be quite a lonely journey. Like I said, only 8.9% of people have over 1,000 subscribers. And you think of your like friendship circle, your family, your friends, etc. that you usually hang out with. How many of them have a YouTube channel that you can consistently bounce ideas off and just generally conversate about YouTube? For me, I don't have anyone. So building that kind of collaboration community, not just collaborating on content, but getting to know other YouTubers in your niche and building a community around it. That's what it's all about, in my opinion. And that's really how I found I've been able to grow on YouTube, by sharing ideas and knowledge with other creators in my space. It's been invaluable. Analyzing your analytics. We got a slightly different view of things here. What I'm going to do is take you through the analytics of one of my recent videos on my main YouTube channel. If you didn't know already, I make videos on my main channel about fantasy football. It's called Golden Goal Fantasy Football. We're on around 11,000 subscribers now. And I'm going to take you through one of the most recent videos that I uploaded, just to take you through the analytics and how I might analyze a video in the hopes that that helps you as well. So the first screen we've got is a basic overview of the basic information about the video. So it's got 7.9k views, 774 watch hours. I've gained 35 subscribers directly from people clicking subscribe while they're watching the video, and I've made 41 quid. So that's the basic information about the video. But how to actually make good videos, this information doesn't necessarily help. So we'll move on to reach. You can't see it because it's hidden behind me, but this here says impressions. I've got 61,000 impressions. So that means my video has been shown, well, to people 61,000 times on YouTube, whether that be on their recommended feed, their subscription feed, or alongside a video that they're already watching. And then my impressions click-through rate is 9.8%. So that means someone has clicked on my videos, or people have clicked on my videos as a result of seeing it 9.8% of the time, which in my niche, I find anything 10% or above is pretty exceptional. It's a really good click-through rate. So to see 9.8% is pretty good for me. I'll accept that. It means that the title and thumbnail are pretty compelling. You know, compelling enough to convince basically 10% of people to click on the video. The next tab is all around engagement. So at the basic top level, it will tell you how many hours in total the video has been watched for. So that's 774 hours here. And 5 minutes 54 seconds is the average view duration, which is slightly less than normal, but this is a slightly shorter video than I usually make. And you go down here and we see a little bit more information around the audience retention. So it says 5 minutes 54 average view duration, which is 40.3% of the total video. I think in my niche, at least, compared to other videos I make, 40.3% is pretty strong. That suggests it's a pretty compelling video where people are keeping watching the video, basically. And in terms of people continuing to watch the video, this graph, in my mind, is the single most important thing to review. What it shows you is a percentage retention. So how many people that initially clicked on your video are still watching at particular points in time. And it shows you peaks and troughs. Now, this one is pretty constant, which suggests that it's a pretty good video. And I would suggest this is the kind of trend that you want to be seeing on your videos. If you see, I don't know, after 1 minute, there's a big drop off in views and it might pick up at the end a little bit and then drops off again, that suggests that in kind of the middle of your video, you're not doing enough in order to keep people engaged. So maybe you need to, I don't know, maybe change the subject of the video entirely, or add in some animations or text on screen or different edits, or maybe just add in more interesting topics to your video to keep users watching. But for me, the number one thing you need to be looking for YouTube to promote your videos in the algorithm is keeping users on YouTube for as long as possible. And the way you do that as a content creator is keeping them engaged on your videos. And reviewing this graph will tell you for each video where you're hitting it and where you're not. Discipline and patience. We're going to stray a little bit away from advice regarding the YouTube platform itself. And I'm going to look more as to you as the person. And for me, discipline and patience are two really important skills for building a YouTube channel. You need discipline because regardless of how passionate you are about your niche or the subject matter you're making videos about, there are going to be days where you can't be bothered to do work on your channel, whether that be edit, record, write a script, come up with the next video idea, whatever. There are days when you are not going to be bothered to do it, right? And in those days, that's where discipline comes in. For me, discipline is all about being able to do the work when you don't want to. And for me, that is the single most important personal skill you can have when trying to build a YouTube channel. Because if you think back to the data that I shared, it takes on average 100 videos to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. I think your first 10 videos, you can knock them out pretty easily. You're full of energy and enthusiasm about starting this YouTube channel. You've probably got 10 video ideas already written down and you can just crank out the videos based on the ideas. You're learning every time, learning about the editing process, adding new things in. It's great. The first 10 videos are so much fun. But once you hit those first 10 videos, you don't really have all that many followers to show for it. you're kind of running slow on video ideas, things just kind of peter off a little bit and get a little bit less exciting. That gap between your first 10 and 100 videos, you're going to have drops in your level of motivation. And that's where discipline comes in. Another skill that I think, particularly in today's society where everything is just available instantly, is patience. We talked about discipline and the discipline required to make those 100 videos, but something that goes alongside that is patience. You need to be well aware that each video you make is another brick in this YouTube wall of hitting 1,000 subscribers, or whatever you consider success to be on YouTube. And in today's society where you can get pretty much everything delivered to you either instantly or next day, having a level of patience, like we discussed, 15.5 months it could take to hit 1,000 subscribers. Well, it does on average, 15.5 months. You need to have that in mind when you're making your YouTube videos and trying to build your channel right, because it will keep you patient. If you think that you're going to get 1,000 subscribers from 10 decent videos, you're probably wrong, right? You need to have patience. You need to just trust in the process, that continually making videos, making sure that each video is better than the last, discipline to do that, and the patience to know that it will reward you in the long run. Focus. I learned this concept from Charlie Morgan, who is a fantastic, I guess just in general, entrepreneurship YouTube channel. I'd really recommend you follow him for more than just advice on building a YouTube channel. But he kind of introduced this concept to me on a video, and it really resonated with me. And it's all around your ability to focus and how that impacts your level of productivity. I look at productivity as an equation. Productivity equals the level of free time that you have available multiplied by your level of focus. So for example, your level of productivity, say you have 2-3 hours a day where you can work on your YouTube channel, but your level of focus is minuscule. And ultimately, only 15 minutes of that 2 hours is focus time. Whereas if you improve your level of focus and you only have 1 hour available, you could get more work done in that hour because you're more focused than you could in that 2 hours. It's not, I don't think it's that grand of a concept, right? But I think particularly in the YouTube space, I would suggest most people watching this video, or most people looking to start a YouTube channel, already have something that takes up a majority of their time, right? Whether that be, I don't know, childcare duties, they work around the house, or they have a job in general, right? So the real secret to being as productive as possible on YouTube is your level of focus. Now, how do you actually improve your level of focus? Well, there's a couple things for me. Number one is the removal of as many distractions as possible. So I'm thinking screen time on your phone, removing social media apps from your phone. One little trick I've discovered is that you can make your phone screen black and white. So it's less, I don't know, dopaminergically engaging, if that's the right way to say it. But essentially it's less stimulating. And that's the next point. Stimulation, right? In today's society, everyone is constantly stimulated, right? Whether that's listening to music, listening to a podcast, watching TikToks, watching something alongside the activity that they're currently doing. The reason I know this is because I do it myself quite a lot. But we're so heavily stimulated in today's society that it's really hard for the average person to focus on one singular task for a long period of time. And ultimately, when you're trying to maximize productivity, which is something you're going to need to do when building a YouTube channel, you need to ensure you're as focused as possible. And again, going back to that stimulation point, the number one thing for increasing or decreasing stimulation and increasing focus is mindfulness. What do I mean by mindfulness? Well, I mean being aware of distractions and stimulations at all times. So quite a lot of the time, we can subconsciously just pick up our phone, start scrolling on Instagram, TikTok, watching videos, pick up a podcast. And a lot of people just do that subconsciously and don't even think about it. You need to be mindful of these distractions because they're essentially going to kill the time that you have available to work on your YouTube channel. And thus, that sounds like an essay there that you're writing in high school. But thus, you're not going to be able to reach your goal of 1,000 subscribers as quickly because you're spending more time distracted, not focused on your goals. The whole thing piles up. So that's why I think focus is so important. And it's something that everyone, including myself, I'm not perfect, everyone can work on. All right, well, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed that and found it useful. Like I said, this video, I'm not going to tell you how to get to 1,000 subscribers quickly, because for most people, that's just not realistic. It takes a lot of hard work, as I've gone through myself. I know it well myself, which is why I'm making this channel. So if you enjoyed the video and found it useful, I'd really appreciate it if you could leave me a like rating, subscribe to the Tom H Coaching channel down below, and let me know in the comments what you think of the advice I've given. I'll catch you in my next video.